Uh, Today we will be starting the chapter power sharing. Civics chapter number 1, power sharing. The chapter begins with two stories. The first story is about Belgium. Belgium, a small country in Europe. It shares its boundaries with France, Netherlands and Germany. It is a small country, smaller than the state of Haryana. The country is divided into two regions, Walloon and Flemish. Walloon region, where 40% of the population lives, and this is mainly the French speaker population. In Flemish region, 59% of the population resides, and these are the Dutch speaker. 1% population is German speaker. Now, the ethnic composition of capital city Brussels is totally different than the national level composition, the ethnic composition at the national level. Here, 80% are French speaker and 20% are the Dutch speaker. That is, the Dutch speaker who are in majority at the national level are in minority in the capital city Brussels, and French who are in minority at the national level are in majority in capital city Brussels. The French speaker although are minority at the national level, but they are relatively rich and powerful than the Dutch speaker, because they got the benefit of economic development, educational development earlier than the Dutch speaker. Clear? Now the second story is about Sri Lanka, a small island country in south of India. Sri Lanka got independence in 1948, and here the ethnic composition was, the population was divided into two groups. First, Sinhala speakers, the language of Sri Lanka, Sinhala. 74% of the population was Sinhala speaker and 18% was Tamil speaker. This 18% population was further divided into two categories. First, Sri Lankan Tamils, 13%, and the Indian Tamils, 5%. There were around 7% Christians who were in both these categories, because mainly the Sinhala speaker were Buddhist and the Tamil speaker were either Hindus or Muslims. Christians were in both these categories, Sinhala as well as Tamil speakers. Here, this is the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Okay, now next topic is accommodation in Belgium. What measures were adopted by the Belgian leaders so that all the communities can live peacefully in the same country? Between 1970 and 1993, the constitution was amended 4 times. To design a way by which people can live peacefully in the same country. The first change was there will be equal number of French and Dutch speaker ministers in the central government. Suppose there are 50 ministers, 25 will be the Dutch speaker minister, 25 will be the French speaker minister. Now many powers of central government were given to the state governments. This we can understand as federalism, that is, power from central government are taken and given to the state government. So federalism was made stronger, a better federal principle were adopted. Third, the capital city Brussels, like in India, we are having one central government which is in Delhi, New Delhi, and there is a separate government for Delhi. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is the chief minister. So similar government was there in Brussels also. We have already read in Brussels the ethnic composition was reversed, they are different than the national level. In Brussels, French speaker were in majority, but here the people of Brussels also agreed that there will be equal number of French and Dutch speaker ministers. And the fourth point, there will be a community government. This we are not having in India. Community government was a separate government which was dealing with the issues related to culture. language, education, culture related issues, this government will be there. And they will be voted by all the three ethnic groups, that is French, Dutch and German speaker. Clear? Okay. Now we have read about Belgium, what measures were adopted in Belgium so that they can live peacefully. Now in Sri Lanka, they adopted, they choose a different path. They adopted majoritarianism. Majoritarianism means a policy in which majority community is given all the preferences or privileges, and minority will sit quietly, they will not oppose. It is supposed like this. So Sri Lanka adopted majoritarianism in 1956. A 3-mark question is generally asked on this topic. What majoritarianism measures were adopted in Sri Lanka? First, the Sinhala was considered as the only official language. That means disregarding Tamil, they adopted only Sinhala as the official language. Second, preference will be given to the Sinhala speakers in university position and government jobs. That is, the first preference will be to the Sinhala speakers. And third, government will foster Buddhism. That means government will help Buddhism. Now Sri Lanka was no longer a secular country, it was a Buddhist country. Clear? So these were the majority. Next is the demand of the Tamils. Whatever the Sinhala government or Sri Lankan government did, after that the Tamils started demanding certain things. The first demand was about Tamil language. They said, we have adopted Sinhala as the official language. Recognize Tamil also as an official language. With equality they wanted. So they demanded that Tamil should also be recognized as an official language of Sri Lanka. Second, they demanded equal opportunity in government jobs and university position. Third was more autonomy to the states, particularly where the Tamil speakers were living in north and northeastern Sri Lanka, where majority was of the Tamil speaker. They wanted more autonomy and more powers, like Belgian government has given. So these three were the main demands of the Tamil speaker. But repeatedly the government denied all this. The Tamilians were unhappy. Later on they started a movement for separate Tamil Illam. Illam word means state. There was a famous organization LTTE. Prabhakaran was a popular leader of the Tamil speaker and he launched this movement. Thousands of people died. There was civil war in Sri Lanka. So that means power sharing is necessary. Without power sharing there can be a civil war or peace harmony will be adversely affected. Clear?